So, guys, here we are, next episode of StoomCast. Have the privilege and honour to be speaking today with Professor Amal Easton. Amal is based in Boulder, Colorado. Amal's a black belt under Master Renzo Gracie. The list of achievements Amal has is absolutely fantastic. I mean, you were, I believe, the first American black belt to win, I believe, is it the Pan Ams, Amal?
That might be true.
Mm-hmm.
That might be, I'm not positive about that one, but yeah, one of the early guys in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. So Amal runs obviously a successful jiu-jitsu academy in Boulder, Colorado. Trained in Brazil, obviously went down to Brazil, stayed in Brazil for a number of years, and then obviously brought jiu-jitsu back to the States, and obviously started training under, at that point, I believe, Renzo Gracie, Master Renzo Gracie. So, Amal, listen, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me today.
Man, it's an honor to be here. Thank you for talking with me.
So for obviously the guys, I mean, we reached out to you, Amal, because obviously our coach, our professor, is Marcos Nardini. Obviously, Marcos spent a number of years training with yourself. Obviously, got his black belt from you as well. So, so the guys in the gym at MMBJJ just wanted to hear a little bit more about your journey, about where you came from, and things like that. So, for you, Amal, when was the first time you got a taste of jiu-jitsu? So when did you start doing jiu-jitsu?
You know, I grew up in kind of a rough neighborhood, and my parents put me in martial arts, kind of as self-defense when I was a small child. So I was doing Thai boxing a lot, and probably it was around 1989, I started hearing about the Gracie in action, like first videotape. I saw that tape, but it was a very snowy VHS version, so you could barely see it. This was before the internet. And then I've been doing a lot of Thai boxing, so I'd had some Thai boxing fights. And a guy came to town actually to study acupuncture by the name of Marcos Gonzalez, and he was a purple belt under the Machados. And so that was the first time I actually got to feel Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Mm-hmm. So he came to town, and I got the opportunity to roll with him. And it was just a life-changing experience.
Yeah. And then you, I mean, obviously you from that point, I believe that was back in the early 90s, obviously when that first started happening, as you said. So at that point, obviously moving from, because again, you were doing the Thai boxing at the time. So when you first seen that, or when you got your first taste of that, what was your kind of thoughts on jiu-jitsu at that point?
I was obsessed. It was honestly like I had a Thai boxing fight, and in my Thai boxing fight, there was a time when I fell down on the mat, and there was a time when the other guy fell down on the mat. And so, like, in my mind, I was like, the strikes were less effective than I had imagined when it was actually a fight. Mm-hmm. And at one point or another, we were both on the ground. And when I trained with Marcos Gonzalez, I mean, there was no prayer. You know, anyone who's trained jiu-jitsu as a beginner with a high-level practitioner knows how helpless it feels. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I didn't stand a chance. Yeah. And I felt like, man, how am I going to keep it from going to the ground if I fell down without the guy even trying to take me down? Mm-hmm. And so I was just sold. Not like I didn't love Thai boxing and still believe in that. It was great. Mm-hmm. But I felt like at some point, if I wanted to be a martial artist, I was going to have to understand the ground. And I just fell in love with it that day.
Yeah. And then you decided, I mean, you graduated, and anybody that doesn't know, obviously Amal graduated from acupuncture. So, so again, at that point, when you graduated, you decided at that point to go to Rio, or to go there. Was that the purpose to go to Rio, was to learn more about jiu-jitsu?
100%. Like I got out of acupuncture school and was thinking about going to China to work in a hospital. Mm-hmm. I was also thinking about going to Thailand to do Thai boxing. But once I got into jiu-jitsu, there was no, either of those places compared to Brazil, and jiu-jitsu was no comparison. So it was an easy choice. I went there, to learn jiu-jitsu, but also live on the beach. I'd never lived on the beach, learn a foreign language, the whole thing. But my main focus was jiu-jitsu 100%.
Yeah. And I remember I listened to a podcast you did with Grappling Central where you spoke about when you were in Rio. Obviously you didn't know any Portuguese at that point, and very little people that were in Rio at that point around you spoke English. So how was that for you, obviously not knowing the language when you were there?
Man, it was tough, in the day the dollar was super weak, and so there was no tourism there. The tourism was almost non-existent. And so nobody spoke English. It's a very different story now. I can't believe how much it's changed, but it was not super user-friendly for tourists.
Yeah.
But it was good, because at the end of the day, I had a difficult time. I was super broke, but I learned Portuguese. I got immersed in the culture.
Yeah.
I didn't, because I lived with the poor people,
Mm-hmm.
It was an amazing experience. I didn't, I ate a lot of beans and rice and fruit, stuff that was cheap.
Yeah.
And, it really puts you down in the dirt. It makes you, learn the roots of a culture, I feel like.
Yeah. And that's the thing, I've been a lot of people... Sorry?
It would be difficult to have that experience by choice.
Yeah.
Like they say, it's hard to get up at 5 in the morning when you're sleeping in silk sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would be difficult to, put yourself in that position. Like, I couldn't do it now because I don't have to.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I did.
Yeah. And that's, a lot of people look at the jiu-jitsu lifestyle as travelling all over the place and going to all these different fancy places and so on. But obviously for you, the jiu-jitsu lifestyle was a little bit more simpler with obviously the food you were eating and, as I said, not being able to speak languages and things like that. So I kind of related that to Marcos. Marcos spoke about when he first came over to America. Again, he didn't know very much English. And
it's funny because Marcos lived like my experience in Brazil. He learned in America.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He was a great blue belt when he came to train with us.
Yeah.
He was tough as nails. But yeah, he barely spoke English. He was just scraping by to survive.
Yeah.
He didn't. I don't remember if he had a car or not.
Yeah.
He was just making it happen, man. And I definitely, I see people in that position, and I appreciate their struggle.
Yeah.
It makes me have a lot, even more respect for them.
Yeah. And then
He lived it.
Yeah, he definitely did. He tells us a lot of stories about obviously the time when he was in Boulder, the time when he was in Florida and things like that. So a lot of fun experiences. As I said, he wasn't as you said. He was it was very simple for him, but he certainly enjoyed his time when he was coming up. So now for you, Amal.
Those are good times. I remember one time one of our students, Paul Danoa's cousin, rode motorcycles, and he offered to take Marcos down to the track.
Mm-hmm.
And Marcos didn't know how to ride a motorcycle, but one thing Marcos had is he has no fear.
Yeah.
Even the way he competed in jiu-jitsu was just pedal to the metal, zero fear.
Yeah.
On the motorcycle, that's dangerous, man. He got on the motorcycle, did a couple laps, and then started getting a little bit too much confidence, and launched off a big jump off the trail, ended up in the hospital,
right.
No health insurance.
Yeah.
I was so pissed off at my friend, I was so mad at him, because I'm like, man, you're trying to break my fighter. Marcos was one of our greatest students,
Yeah.
And then one time at the track, and he's at the hospital, doesn't know how to pay for his hospital bills. I was so upset.
Yeah. That definitely sounds like Marcos. Yeah, even now, Marcos. When he first the Glasgow gym, when he first put that together, he was doing a bit of he was building the gym and he was doing some DIY, and he was using, I think it was a drill or something, and he nearly cut his I think it was his thumb. Nearly cut his whole thumb off trying to fit something into the gym. And as soon as he seen all the blood, he was like, "Oh my God, I've done something wrong here." So, but yeah.
Yeah, that's Marcos. Good times. I remember I grew up skiing. I skied my whole life, right?
Yeah.
And he's a good skateboarder. I don't know if you've seen him skateboard. He's good on a skateboard, and he likes to skate in the half pipe. And so he went kind of on his own and was learning to snowboard.
Yeah.
And so one day I went up with him and to see how he's doing. Me, I was getting a little older. I like to keep my skis on the ground. I used to compete a lot, jumping.
Yeah.
Marcos, man, he would go at these jumps in the park, and he would like snowboard at the jumps with no control because he was not a great snowboarder.
Yeah.
He's learning, but he was not scared. And he would launch. He would be so sketchy. I would think he was going to wreck on the way to the jump. And then he hit the lip, and he would fly. I mean, like 20, 25 feet in the air, really high, twisting and turning and flipping. And I'm just looking like, oh my God, how's he going to land that? And sometimes he would, sometimes he wouldn't.
Yeah.
He'd just blow up at the landing. It was so funny to watch. And that it was so different from me, you know. I think he felt like he was used to skateboarding, so he thought even if it was hard snow, it was soft. You know?
Yeah. Definitely sounds like Marco.
One day, if anyone skis, they'll know this. So when you ski and snowboard, what you like the most is powder. Well, he was just learning, and one day it was a powder day. I said, Marcos, go snowboarding today. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And so he went up. It was a really deep powder day. And when he came back, I said, how was it? And he said, it was okay, but it was too deep. There was too much snow. It was too soft.
Yeah.
Like, because he couldn't do his jumps and stuff. It was so foreign to me. But, yeah, Marcos is one of a kind.
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously in Brazil, I mean, you got the chance to train with a lot of the greats in jiu-jitsu. I mean, obviously you training with one of my good friends, Draculino. I was fortunate I got to spend a week in California with Draculino doing a training camp for Gracie Barra for the World Masters. I think it was about 2015. So how was your experience with Draculino?
Man, I mean, I have no words for Draculino. He's a living legend, you know? Like, unfortunately, when I got to Brazil, he had just moved to Belo Horizonte and opened up his school there. Yeah. And so he wasn't around quite as much as a lot of the other guys. He would come up on the weekends. I would get to train with him a little bit. Yeah. I sent my good friend Alberto Crane to train with him when he moved there. So then I would go up to Belo Horizonte with Alberto and another guy that was in the area, Kazeka, and train with Draculino and his team up there, which was always amazing. I wish I'd had gotten more experience with Draculino. He was known as a very dangerous competitor. Yeah. He was always a very nice guy. And if you've seen him sing hardcore punk, then you know he's a special talent.
I saw that video, the video was absolutely fantastic. So a fantastic video. And I'd say it's such a nice guy. I mean, when I trained with him, he did the training camp for GB, and he got us all ready to go to the Worlds, and just spending a few days with him. And even when I was over at the Worlds, when I was on the mat, he was in my corner. Which again, when you're a blue belt at the World Masters and you turn around and you've got Draculino in your corner, you think you're invincible. So he was definitely a nice guy. And again, I met him when he came over to the UK, and I mean, he's one of the nicest guys. He's got the greatest voice as well. When you hear him talk, he sounds like an old 1930s gangster from one of the old gangster movies when he talks. So, but really nice guy. He's such a nice guy. It was hard for me to imagine him singing hardcore punk with that much angst, you know? Yes. But yeah, it seemed like it came very natural for him as well. Yeah. And then obviously you've come back over to the UK. Sorry, not the UK, sorry. You've came back from Rio to the US. And was it straight away that you joined up with Renzo Gracie's academy, or was there things that you did before that?
Look, Renzo was a student at Gracie Baja when I was there.
Yeah.
I mean, he was one of the best students, and he was probably the most well-loved, and he, you know, he was an amazing source of knowledge.
Yeah.
But he was one of the students. Then he went to New York and opened his school. When he opened his school, I had family in New York, so when I was living in Brazil, I would always go back and spend time in New York with him.
Yeah.
So in Brazil, we formed a friendship, and then I continued that, and he'd be kind of my main guy when I came back to the States.
Yeah, yeah. So it was a natural thing, obviously, when you did eventually come back to the States, was to obviously go in with Renzo. And I mean, you got both your brown and black belts from Renzo Gracie. I believe you were, and again, going from the things I've read, you were the 7th black belt under Renzo Gracie.
Yes, the 7th black.
Um,
And I was not the first American because Ricardo Almeida is actually an American citizen.
right.
And he was, I think, the first black belt.
Mhm.
And then Matt Serra got his black belt before me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't remember if Sean Williams came before me or right after, but I was the 7th person to get my black belt from Renzo, and that's a huge honor because Renzo is one of the greatest humans on the planet Earth, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Renzo was the kind of main reason for me to get into jiu-jitsu. Obviously, I grew up. I'm 41 years old, so I grew up watching Renzo through the UFC and so on, and he was always my favourite person. And I always said if I got into jiu-jitsu, it would be because Renzo Gracie. Watching Renzo Gracie coming up, so I was quite fortunate. I've been able to watch a lot of his fights and so on, and again, hopefully one day. I know Marcos met him. I think it was about a year ago. He met him at a competition, and I was supposed to go to the competition with Marcos, but I didn't get to go. And Marcos, as soon as he took a picture with Renzo, he sent the picture to me straight away, and he says, "Look who's here." so I never got the chance to meet him, but I will one day. So definitely looking forward to it. So for you getting your black belt from Renzo, so and again, I've spoke to other black belts, Amal, and what was your kind of feeling when you got your black belt? So what was the emotions that you were feeling at that point?
Emotions when I mean, it's unbelievable, kind of, you know, like, not like, by the time you get your black belt, for the most part, you kind of know it's coming, you know, you put your time in, you've been black belt enough, you know, you've been a brown belt forever.
Mm-hmm.
I felt at that point that I did well with most of the brown belts, you know, and most of the black belts. There's always exceptions, you know, Braulio Estima was still a purple belt and treating me like a white belt.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I felt solid with, you know, most of the regular brown belts and most of the black belts. I felt good with, so I expected it. But still, it's a very strange feeling to look down around your waist and see a black belt.
Yeah.
You know, like you spent all those years thinking about it. I think there's a part of every person on the planet that'll wonder if they really deserve it, because there's always somebody that whoops your ass so bad they make you feel like you know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, but at the same time, like, by the time you get that black belt, if you got it from somebody legitimate, you've definitely put in a lot of time and you have a lot of knowledge. It's been a huge part of your life.
Yeah, yeah. I can imagine getting it from Master Renzo himself would have added to that emotion as well, yeah?
100%. I mean, Renzo's the greatest guy on the planet, and the last thing you want to do is ever let him down, because he's as generous and, like, friendly and lifts everybody in the room up as you could possibly imagine. So it makes you want to, you know, you feel like you'd be willing to die for him, because he acts like he'd do the same for you.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, obviously you yourself, you've competed in jiu-jitsu as well. I mean, again, we kind of mentioned it, the list of things that you've won over the years. Obviously the Pan Am's champion, as a brown belt, numerous times as a black belt, American national champion, international masters and senior champion, and again the list goes on. So I mean, is that something that you always wanted to do, was to compete jiu-jitsu once you obviously got into it?
Yeah, 100%. I was already competing in Thai boxing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was upset. You know, I loved competing. I always have. And the cool thing about jiu-jitsu is I felt like you could compete and go hard and not get hurt. And so that was very exciting for me, you know, and it was still like as close to a fight as I could imagine without, like, you know, going out there and risking your health and win.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I love competing, and for me, nothing motivates me more. Like if I'm doing, even now, I haven't competed for over a year,
mm-hmm.
the longest time in my life without competing. But like if I'm on a big hike or a run or whatever it is, and I'm trying to push myself, I think of somebody like trying to disrespect me on the mat,
yeah.
or trying to punch me in the face, or, you know, like that, like combat, nothing comes close to it. Nothing motivates you like somebody trying to wrap their hands around your neck.
Yeah, definitely. And then when I spoke, you
so win or lose from the whole process, every single time I competed, I came out of it like a better jiu-jitsu practitioner, a better human.
Yeah, yeah. And as I said, it's definitely, I mean, your list of accomplishments that you've had. And again, I spoke about, you were, from what I can see, you were the first American black belt national champion in, I believe, 2002.
Yes.
So, first American.
You know, that was my first tournament as black belt, so I was very nervous.
Yeah. And then how do you, because again, we have a lot of the students in MMBJJ under Marcos that compete. They go out to local competitions, they go out to the IBJJF competitions, NAGA, ADCC and so on. So for you, how do you, when you're competing, how do you combat like things like nerves and obviously the day of the competition? So how do you prep yourself for it, Amal?
You know what's crazy is at this point, I feel like I compete like well. And when I say I compete well, I mean I compete to my ability. Like if I get beat, it's generally because, you know, they were better than me on that day. But maybe they were actually better. Like they don't. I generally don't show up and perform much worse than I perform every day. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I still go through the gamut of emotions. Like that's an interesting part about competing for me. Mm-hmm. Is that like in the process of even that day, I'm gonna feel every emotion. Yeah. I'm gonna be sad, nervous, scared, happy, every single thing. Like before the match, I'm gonna wonder why I'm doing this to myself. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have butterflies in my stomach. I'm gonna have a rapid heart rate. I'm gonna be nervous after the match and during the match. I'm gonna be adrenalized and like really happy. And when the match is over, I'm gonna wonder why I was so worried about the whole thing, and win or lose, I'm gonna want to do it again, and I'm gonna be super happy.
Yeah.
Like and that part almost hasn't changed. Like I still feel a little bit the same way, but I deal with it better. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I've always, you know, before the match, I'm better at turning my head off. You know, I can study the opponent and think about walking onto the mat. But when the match, you know, when I'm ready to go to sleep, I can turn that off and go to sleep, no problem.
Yeah.
So that's what changed. Mm-hmm. I still get nervous and all that, but I'm better at turning it off and kind of compartmentalizing that.
Yeah, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely. Definitely. I mean, it's good to hear, obviously, your insight into competing, because again, everybody has, as you know, everybody has their own thing. People get so nervous that they, I don't know, they throw up, or all sorts of things happen. So it's fantastic to hear, obviously, your insight into how you get yourself prepared, both physically and mentally. That
is interesting to me. Like, Renzo Gracie's like, oh yeah, like how could I like go to it? It's like, he'd be like, fighting at an event is like going to a party and not, you know, going to an event and not fighting is like going to a party and not dancing.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, if I see people fighting, like, I want to be in the mix.
Yeah.
And, Hickson Gray, I think it makes him happy.
Yeah.
Like, if you ever seen him, everybody wants him in their corner because he's like, it takes away your nerves because he's so relaxed.
Yeah.
Even before his fights,
Yes. Yes.
Hickson said, like, if you're not scared and nervous, then something's wrong with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, like you said, like, they said Higgin Machado used to be one of the greatest competitors ever. They said he used to be so nervous he would throw up every time before his matches.
Yeah.
I think everybody a little bit has their, like, disposition physiologically.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure how much of that you get to choose. I think you can maybe change it a little bit, but I think, or learn to deal with it for the most part. I don't think you can change it too much. Like, I think what you are, what you have is kind of what you have.
Yeah, yeah. And then from obviously getting your black belt from Renzo, I mean, when was it you first opened Easton Jiu-Jitsu or the Easton training centres?
1998, at the end of 1998.
Mm-hmm. So you did that before you were a black belt then, yes?
Yeah, there were hardly any black belts in America, and I had been a purple belt for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I won the Brazilian National Championships at purple belt. I had won the Pan Ams at purple belt, I believe.
Yeah.
So I'd been hugely accomplished as a purple belt. I actually had been given a brown belt, but I had kind of a falling out with that instructor, so I gave it back.
Mm-hmm.
I had been a purple belt for 5 years.
Yeah.
And I opened the school here. My plan was already, to try to stay in Brazil for, until I got my black belt.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for almost 4 years. It was not in the cards.
Yeah.
It was time to come home.
Yeah.
So yeah, I opened my school as a purple belt.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, back in the day, there were hardly any black belts in America.
Yeah, yeah. And your school, as I say, your school's very successful. I mean, you've had a number of kind of well-known students come through the doors. Obviously, again, Marcos talks a lot about Elliot Marshall. And obviously you've had other ones, Brendan Schaub, I mean, you've had Nate Marquardt, Shane Carwin, and so on. So again, were all of these guys around at the same time as Marcos was there?
Not Brendan and Shane, but Elliot was like Marcos's nemesis. Like, those two battled every day. Those two went at it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Nate must have been around a little bit.
Yeah.
But those were good times.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, but the biggest, like Jay Jack was around. He never reached quite as much fame, maybe per se, for people that follow like MMA, but he should be. He's one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Elliot and Marcos used to just battle all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Marcos went to war with all the top students. Like,
yeah.
He's a spirit that can't be tamed. He's a samurai. He always likes to be in the mix.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he started training at, again, I don't know if he spoke to you about this, but he started training at a gym down in London, which is called Fight Zone, which is under the Checkmate brand. And the reason he went down there is because Checkmate or Fight Zone has probably the most black belts out of any gym in the UK. And what Marcos did was said, well, where can I improve my training for different competitions and things like that? And the very first place that came into his head was Fight Zone, and he always talks about Fight Zone. He goes down and again, as you say, he throws himself in, and he'll roll with every single person in the room, which is a good thing about him. And he's became very successful. I mean, he's winning a number of IBJJF competitions over the last kind of couple of years, and he's always ready to throw himself in at every opportunity. So, and again, he mentions that came from obviously yourself and the guys that he he trained with at obviously Easton Training Centre over in Boulder.
I think, are you there? You broke up for a second.
No, I'm still here. So, no, what I was saying is Marcos now, I mean, a lot of his success...
I heard he's, I know he's been training in Fight Zone. He definitely always chases after it, and that's important. You know, that was why I moved to Brazil.
Yeah.
I moved to Brazil so I could train with the best, you know, and Marcos puts himself out there.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it good. You know, like, I'm good friends with Braulio Estima, and the last time I saw Braulio Estima, he said, man, Marcos came to train with me. I don't know if it was a seminar or the academy. And he said, man, he's fucking good, man. Like, and coming from Braulio Estima, that's a huge compliment.
Yeah. And as the Marcos always puts it down to his training with you and all the other guys at Easton Training Centre when he was over there. So, and again, any teachings that he does, a lot of the teachings that he does with us, a lot of the classes, the moves and so on, all of it came directly from yourself.
Well, I'm honored that I could pass along, you know, a little bit of knowledge to such a great competitor.
Yeah.
Like, he's a student that any teacher would be proud to have.
Yeah. And then for you, Marcos also mentioned, I told him I was speaking to you tonight, and he told me to ask to let you tell me about some of your things that you do outside the gym with the motocross, all the kind of things like that you do outside the gym.
All the stuff that almost killed Marcos when he was here.
Yes.
I've always done a lot of activities. Like, it was fun living on the ocean, but it was kind of out of my element.
Yeah.
So it was fun to come back to the mountains because I grew up like riding bikes and skiing and riding motocross. So like I do all that stuff now a lot. I just spend a lot of time skiing. Spend a lot of time, you know, riding my motorcycle, mountain biking. There was a time probably for 10 or 20 years when I didn't do much of that stuff at all because I was 100% focused on jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm getting a little older, starting to mix it up a little more, and it's fun to be able to fall back on all of my old games from growing up, you know?
Yeah. And anybody that doesn't have, obviously, you on Facebook, I mean, you're always putting videos on of you out and about, whether it be on the bike or anything that you're doing. You've always got videos on to let everybody see exactly what you're doing, how you're living life and things like that.
Man, I think it's important to try to enjoy life. I ask myself a question of whether that's good or bad sometimes because I'm not trying to like be something better than anyone else.
Yeah.
I'm just out there having a good time, you know?
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like, maybe I shouldn't be putting this out there because it seems like kind of like I'm bragging. It's not bad. I just, you know, I'm out there having a good time. I can say that since I was a small child, like I grew up very broke.
Yeah.
I grew up with nothing. And we didn't, you know, I never had any debt. I was always a very hard worker. I saved my money very well. I remember a lot of my friends were, you know, stuck working because they had to make car payments.
Yeah.
And me, I drove a piece of shit car, but like I was out skiing every day, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think it's a lot about priorities in this day and age for most of the privileged first world, I could say, because not everybody has that opportunity, but I feel like it would be a waste for me not to take advantage of it because I do.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I enjoy your videos. I mean, every time you put a video up, and I get to see it, I always enjoy watching the videos because, again, when you're out doing these things, the look on your face is you're happy. You're happy when you're doing these things, so...
Man, let me tell you, I'm smiling right now just hearing you say that you enjoy seeing my videos. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, listen, don't stop the videos. The videos are fantastic, and I know a lot of my friends in MMBJJ, they all love them as well. So yeah, definitely don't stop the videos, Amal. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, for you, Amal, I mean, obviously you're doing acupuncture. You graduated from acupuncture. Is that still something that you do as well as the jiu-jitsu?
I don't. There was a time when I moved. It served me well on one occasion. It was 3 years of studying my ass off to get acupuncture licensed. And then I got licensed and I moved to Brazil. And I'll tell you where it served me well is because I got to work on Renzo Gracie after he punched that guy in the face in the World Combat Championship and broke his hand. And he had numbness and he wasn't having some movement in his hand.
Yeah.
I did acupuncture on his hand and I helped the king out, and that befriended Renzo.
Yeah.
And I think that was what started, the connection with me and Renzo. And I can say that, if I went to acupuncture school for 3 years, just so I could make that relationship, then it was worth it.
Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it, yes.
When I moved back to America, I thought that I was going to open a jiu-jitsu and an acupuncture studio.
Yeah.
But, man, jiu-jitsu took all of my attention. Jiu-jitsu felt like, I was obsessed with it. It felt like play. I couldn't think of anything else. And acupuncture felt like work once I'd met Renzo Gracie. So what can I do?
Definitely. And then for you, without jiu-jitsu, let's say you didn't do jiu-jitsu, what would you be doing instead of martial arts?
I don't know. That is a good question. We will never know because I'm a free spirit. I don't I'm a different kind of guy in some ways. I don't know if I'd be like living off the land in Alaska or ski guiding or mountaineering. I don't know.
Yeah.
Lord knows. Something different. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Well, listen, Amal, it's been a pleasure. Obviously, I don't want to keep you too long. I know you've got obviously other commitments. As I said, it was just a quick chat with you. The guys in Glasgow and Kilmarnock, all of Marcus's students, as I say, I've been waiting to hear some words from obviously the master himself, Amal Easton. So, as I say, we've heard so much about you from Marcos. So listen, it's glad that we can obviously have a little bit of a chat. And Boulder, Colorado, Marcos is always telling us if we're on our travels, to head out to Boulder, Colorado. So one day we will come over, and obviously spend some time with you guys over there.
Let me tell you, the doors are always open for Marcos's guys, man. Any friends of Marcos. If there's anything I could do to help facilitate that, I would always be happy to help.
Perfect. Listen, thank you very much, Amal. But listen, thank you again for obviously taking a little bit of time to speak to me today, Amal. It's been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully we can catch up with you at some point again in the future.
Stuart, thank you very much. It's been an honor to be on your to speak with you. I would love to visit you guys someday. I hope to make that happen. And be well, brother.
You take care, Amal. Thank you again.
All right, see you later.
So, guys, that was Professor Amal Easton. Again, Amal's kind of list of achievements since he got into jiu-jitsu has been absolutely phenomenal. That's the 7th black belt under Renzo Gracie, as he explained there. To get a black belt from Renzo is a big thing because it's an earned black belt, a very hard earned black belt. And as I said, he went on, did wonders in jiu-jitsu. Becoming the first American black belt national champion. So obviously making history wherever he's went. Obviously Pan Am champion numerous times. He was a black belt Pan Am champion 2005, 6, 7, 8. So won it a number of years in a row. International Masters. He's Pan Am's. So yeah, he's done absolute wonders. Again, he's had a number of kind of high level students come through his doors. I'd say most notably the ones we mentioned, MMA fighters Shane Carwin, Elliot Marshall, Brendan Schaub and Nate Marker. So so it was definitely fantastic to hear, obviously, a little bit of information with Amal. I'd say we could have went on for forever. I'd say there's a lot of questions, a lot of further questions that I would love to ask him. But as I say, we don't want to take up too much of his time because, as I say, he does have other commitments outside. So, so thank you again, Amal. So guys, obviously again, we'll try and get someone on before the end of the week. Listen, thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.